everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Garrett Morlang, and here in the studio with me is none other than...
your other host, JJ! Hello, Garrett. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Oh my gosh, man. I'm doing amazing. Just got back fresh off the boat. Well, wasn't actually on a boat, but
You were watching a TV show fresh off the boat?
Yeah, is that a TV show?
It's a solid TV show.
I knew that it was a TV show, Garrett.
It's a really good
was checking with you. I was testing
it's
your
from a
knowledge.
family who, back in the 90s, all their families came over, or they came over from Taiwan, and it's about them, like, acclimating to, like, American culture. It's based on a book. It's hilarious. It's really good. You should watch it.
It's on
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay, well, I actually have Hulu because
Fresh off the boat.
I don't have cable.
It's about this kid who's just, like, super into, like, rap music. This Asian kid who's super into rap music. It's great.
That's totally cool.
No, it's a hilarious show.
I'll have to check it out. All right. Well, no, I've had an awesome week, my friend. I hope that you have. I went for my little girl and some of her friends. We met and we went to a parade in Sacramento. And it was what is considered a mermaid parade. So
okay.
I went with the understanding that it was going to be, you know, like this cutesy little thing where like all these little girls are dressed up and have their mermaid tails and
oh no, the fact that it wasn't you're saying you thought it was going to be that.
That's what I thought, and I was like, all right, sweetheart, we're gonna go into a mermaid party and it's gonna be a mermaid and oh yeah, she was pumped and she had a mermaid tail and
then you really get there and realize there's no other kids.
It was raining men, let me tell you.
Okay.
It was raining men. It was...
That's a turn I wasn't expecting. I was expecting maybe it's a little more like adult-oriented or something. But
or it was adult-oriented of the male variety. It was... yeah, so it was actually... There was quite a bit of dudes dressed up as mermaids and dudes dressed up as female mermaids. And whatever
floats your boat, I guess.
There's no judgment. There's no judgment.
Nothing wrong with a good-looking dude.
There was one of those that was sitting, and I tried to push my wife over and make her take a picture. There was a really, really realistic mermaid's tail coming off of this dude, and he had no shirt on, and he was ripped to shreds. He was very obviously
very
a gay
similar
dude.
very similar to your body type.
He looked like me, sans, muscle, and my chiseled good looks,
Okay.
No, this guy was gorgeous. He's like sitting there super good looking, but he was very evidently gay, and he's sitting there with this long tail, and he's flipping his hair back and forth, and like I'm trying to shove my wife over, and I'm like, go take a picture with him, and like she's like, no, I can't, what do you do, no, and I was just like, oh no, you got to take a picture. She didn't want to do it, so she bailed at the last minute, and I thought it was going to be great.
You got a picture with him, right?
Well, I did.
Yeah, I know. I want a picture.
And then
of this dude.
I thought it was only necessary. I felt like I wanted to fit in. I took my shirt off. Then it got weird, and I was asked by two cops to put my shirt back on. So, needless to say, I will not be invited back next year, is what they told me.
Yeah, all right. I'm sure it was a shock to your daughter as well, because it's you go in thinking like, oh, like princess, like Little Mermaid, and then it's not. It's like, surprise.
Yeah, and there was one really, really funny moment that I
feel like there could have been more research done on your part to figure that out before you got there.
I'm thinking, like, they got a little girl, we've got a little girl. We went, and I just thought it was going to be a cute, little thing with a parade, and I guess I probably should have like looked up the interweb stuff on the Google, but I did not. I did not. Now, the one funny thing that did happen was we were sitting and resting at one point. It was like really hot. It was like 101 or something like that. And we sat down on this bench. My son and I and my daughter were sitting there. We're waiting on Mom because she stopped in to try to buy socks from some weird sock shop. Kind of crazy. We were in Old Town Sacramento. And this gentleman walks by dressed as a lady, mermaid. I'm trying to figure out how to politically say this stuff correctly, right? And I looked over and I saw a very evidently masculine jawline, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a guy dressed up, but I don't say anything, or I don't say anything out loud or whatever. I just register it with my eyes. And as this person is walking out of our line of sight, there's this old man who is in his 80s, maybe late 70s, and he's got a granddaughter with him that's like 11 or 12, somewhere in that age group. And you know how some people not myself, they don't have like a filter or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. He literally like walked right past this person dressed up as a mermaid and very loudly tried to whisper, quote unquote, "That's a dude." And like it was so loud. Like it was ridiculous. And like the little girl was like, "I know. And it was like, and it was the great. I'm like, only I get to see this kind of stuff. It was so great. It was so great. So yeah, it was fun.
It sounds like a blast.
How was your week?
It was good. Yeah. Work's been crazy, as you know, but this weekend, it was all for the purpose of getting time off for this weekend. We went up to Bend, Oregon, for my wife's mom's side family reunion. And, it's actually a lot of fun. Oregon's a beautiful place. I'm like, I could totally live here. I'm cool with this. Like mountains all over, out in the woods. Like Shep loved it.
So there was like a big family reunion for your wife's side of the family?
Yeah, just for her mom's side. And yeah, everyone from all over the United States kind of came together. Most of them were on the east or the west coast, but a couple from the east coast came, and yeah, it was fun.
Gee, did you let your hair down? Did you guys pull out the old banjo and start hitting on the old water pipe and kick back a couple of the brewskis?
I don't know why you think all these our family is a bunch of rednecks.
Aren't all families a bunch of rednecks?
No, not all families are like yours.
My family is. I just assume. So you're saying in her family there are no cousins that marry other cousins?
That hasn't happened yet.
That's very awkward.
But
how do they meet women?
They travel. They travel a lot more than most families, that's for sure. But no, it was a lot of fun though. I ended up spending a lot of time with my brother-in-law Toby, who he actually listens to the show, supports us on Patreon. So shout out to Toby there.
What's up, Tobes?
But
does he go by Tobes?
He hasn't yet, but
he does now.
Yeah.
What's up, Tobes?
But he actually, and I'll talk about it later on what you're playing, but he introduced me to Minecraft.
What?
We stayed up until 1 o'clock in the morning one night playing Minecraft.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Garrett. Oh.
I don't want to talk more about it. I don't want to spoil a bit. I don't want to spoil the whole segment later, but
hey, just look forward to later just sadness, folks. Look forward to sadness later.
But yeah, it was good. Shep did all right on the drive. You know, it was about 8 hours from Modesto.
Ooh.
And on the way up there, our AC, we've had issues with our AC in our car anyways. Like if it gets above like 95, it just goes like dies. And on the way up there, it was a really hot day, so it was just like done. Like we had nothing. We were dying in the car. Shep's like sweating bullets in his car seat in the back.
I find that if you go really fast and roll the windows down, it's kind of like AC.
Yeah, a little bit. Or like a giant hair dryer, a blow dryer.
Very similar. Did you guys try that Dymatap trick that you said you were going to pull on Shep?
No, no, the one
Garrett,
that you suggested. I did
Garrett,
not.
Why are you winking at me? What are you?
No, our version of Dymatap is handing them the phone or the iPad with a TV show.
I'm just teasing. We never had the Dymatap talk. Wink, wink.
Yeah. But on the way back, the AC worked great. It only got up to 100 degrees, and it decided to work, even though it got above 95.
So
I'm like,
maybe it have a demon. You go past an Indian burial ground over in Oregon, and it curse you, white man.
I don't know what's up with that. It's definitely something's wrong with it, so we need to get it checked out. But no, it was good travels, and good times with family and good times playing Minecraft.
Well, I look forward to hearing about it. But you know what I'd like to hear about right now? I would love to hear about our
all that
Patreon.
all the money we're making.
Yeah, we're making a bunch of money.
Yeah, that's all you care.
You are not sharing any of that money with me. I'm looking forward to the chats.
I'm the only one who cares about the actual supporters. You're just like, hey, how much dough do we make this month? It's like,
I have never.
Come on, JD. There's people behind the money. It's not just about the money.
Sure, there is wallets and billfolds. But listen, the thing is, I have never once in my life said to you, "Hey, what's up with the dough?" I always say, what's up with that cold hard cash? I never call it dough.
Okay, all right,
because dough is like cookie dough, and I get hungry, and I'm trying to stay away from anything with carbs.
Okay, well, let's stay away from my bowl of tuna salad I have over here, tuna noodle pasta. If you haven't already, go check us out at Patreon. patreon.com/supergamerboys. Over there, if you really love what we do, you enjoy our show, and you want to help us continue to get bigger and better, you can support us monthly over there.
We got to buy Dimetap, people.
Dimetap for those kids.
We got to replace the bottles that Garrett drained on his long 8-hour trip.
Jeez. Yeah, we have different tiers over there you can support us at for if you want to get shout outs on the show, if you want to get your name in the show notes, if you want to pitch segments to us. Basically what happens is if you support us on the show, you help us buy equipment like what we bought yesterday as a recording. It was Amazon Prime Day on the 15th, and we were able to get our video capture card or game capture card, so we can now do YouTube and Twitch.
That's right, people. We are coming to you hot. So you're going to be able to see us playing video games on Twitch and also see some YouTube content now. And it's all thanks to the supporters right out there in Patreon. And, of course, the fact that his wife is really nice to him and allowed him the opportunity to do so. But, yeah, you can help us to get our next... I think we need like a bigger monitor. I'm thinking like a 70-inch inside of this thing.
I don't know. The one we have now is pretty dang big. So the monitor we're currently using, because we record in a studio that is provided, very graciously by our boss. He bought a studio or a monitor for himself for his office, but he hasn't been in the office.
So he pilfered it.
He hasn't been in this office for a while. He works down in another office. So we were like, hey, we'll take the monitor. It's like 32-inch ultra wide monitor. It's insanely huge.
We put Super Gamer Boy stickers on the back of it and stuff. We've pretty much just taken it over.
It's ours now.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, just because we got the capture card doesn't mean we still don't need the support to continue to buy the games, to play for you guys and show you guys and talk about with you guys, and also get those movie tickets. I know we still have not talked about Far From Home.
Did you go and see it yet? I haven't.
I've been busy every weekend. I mean, in Oregon this last weekend and the weekend before we were doing stuff. But
yeah, I'm hoping we can go this next weekend.
I think this coming weekend here. But this gets to our other piece of housekeeping, I guess. Next week we will not have a normal episode because my parents will be in town, and parents they ruin everything.
That's not true. Love your parents, and I was told by a little birdie that the reason that we're not doing a podcast while your parents are in town is because they just couldn't handle too much JJ. So
yeah, it's a little overwhelming, I
understand. Guys, I love you guys to death. I'm trying not to be hurt by that. I did think that we were going to go out for like a family dinner, but whatever. I'm just trying not to be hurt by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead of that, we are not necessarily not going to have an episode for you. We're not canceling the show. We're not going to go a week without a show for you. We are going to bring you a little special. It's not going to be a full episode, full length like it normally is. It'll just be a little taste of what could possibly, maybe one day turn into our comedy podcast, because that's one of our goals on Patreon. If we can get supported at, I forget if it's, because I have two different goals. It's either, I forget if it's a $60 goal or the $100 goal. But if we can get to that much support every month, you will get just the Patreon sponsors. People who support us on Patreon will get a bonus comedy episode every month. And so we wanted to just give it to the public here and give you a taste. Like, this is the kind of stuff, not exactly, obviously, because we haven't nailed it down because we're not at that support level.
Yeah, just so you guys know, it has not been like
this is the this is the fine print here. Like, this does not reflect the final product. This is
no. If you are thinking like this is like a sculpture we are putting together, that we are like fashioning something that is beautiful and looking like art, and like carving a little here and pushing up a little here. This is not what we are doing. We are about to put together something that is maybe rough. How you like it, rough.
Very rough. But it was something like last minute. We're like, you know what? Or instead of not doing an episode, why not bring you guys at least something to listen to that some people may laugh at?
Yeah, and more than likely we will be the only ones laughing. But, isn't that really all that matters?
That's all that matters, as long as we're laughing. But before we get out of the housekeeping / Patreon news here, so yeah, if you like our comedy podcast, go support us on Patreon, because if we hit that goal, Patreon supporters will get that bonus episode. But anyways, shout out to our Patreon producer, Matt Liu. Thank you so much, Matt.
What's up, M-Dog?
I still have to hit him up for a new list of Losing Reviews movies, because I think the next episode we should do another one. So I need to get a new list with some new movies. Hopefully they'll have Nicolas Cage in them.
I was told that he changed his number. I've tried to call M-Dog a couple of times. I thought we, were boys. I thought we were going to chill. And I've called Matt a couple of times, and I find it funny that you gave me a phone number that had 555 in the prefix.
Yeah, well, maybe it's a similar thing with my parents. It's a little too much JJ. Maybe you just need to tone it down a little bit.
Okay,
let's tone it down.
I can't tone it down. You don't understand. Like I am
understand.
toning it.
I understand.
Yeah,
I do understand.
I am toning it down. This is toned.
But they don't understand. They've only met you a couple of times. They don't realize this is toned down.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much to our Patreon sponsor, Bill Bird.
What's up, Big Bill? I'm not going to say anything inappropriate this week.
I'm sure he'd very greatly appreciate that.
I don't know. Like every time I share anything about his dancing skills or his legs or the fact that I love the way he wears his 501s, like it just, for some reason, Bill just gets so giddy. He laughs like a girl. Like I've never seen anything like it.
I've never heard him laugh.
Wait, what?
He's usually pretty upset around me. I don't know what it is. He does not like me.
He's always laughing around me. I don't know why, but he literally
or
has.
I'm just not funny.
He has such a light, fluffy laugh when he. I don't know why. Like it's so effeminate, and Bill, I just love you for it.
I'm sorry, Bill. Please keep supporting us. I'm sorry. Alrighty. What do you say we get down to this week's Nerdy Nudes?
It's time for the Nerdy Nudes.
Okay, the first news story this week.
Did that sound like a mermaid?
It sounded like your daughter or your son. It sounded more like your son going through puberty. That's what it sounded like.
He's not there yet, but yeah, he does. He just says sometimes he's like, "Oh, hi." That sounds nothing like my son. And when he hears this, he's like, "That doesn't sound anything like me." Now that sounds more like him. Especially if it's about me taking him off of Fortnite. Son, can Daddy play for a little bit? I'll play Fortnite.
The first news story here comes to us from comicbook.com by Tanner Dedman. Super Nintendo World model photos reportedly leaked. So this came out, this last week, where we all kind of knew there was already a Super Mario or a Super Nintendo World in development at the section at the Universal theme parks. And some images. So they have not been exactly, what do you say? Yeah, they haven't been confirmed, I guess, by Universal or Nintendo or anyone saying that they're necessarily legit. For all we know, they could be fakes, but they seem very close to what other rumors have said about what could be in the park and everything. So here's the article. Some new images have surfaced online that appear to show a model for Universal Park's new Super Nintendo World project that's supposed to open to guests in 2020. These images show off a model with mushrooms, Bowser's Castle, and various other points of interest that'll look familiar to anyone who's played through more than a few Super Nintendo games. The mode in question appears to be dated a few years back, so while some of what's shown may be outdated, assuming this is even a legit leak, it gives an idea of what the attendees may see at the park. So that's the other thing. I guess there's a watermark time or like a date on the photos that actually says it's from a couple years ago. So it may be outdated by now, but it's still pretty awesome. So here is...
We're looking at the photos right now of this model, and I got to tell you, if you guys haven't seen this yet, it is pretty awesome. And it is exactly what you would think Super Mario World would look like.
Yeah, so it has like the regular like kind of green pastures look and like the same like signature like ground pattern and trees and little like mushrooms all over. There's little question mark blocks and stuff. There's little Yoshis up here on the hill. There's even a little like desert themed area with the little pyramids. Bowser's Castle in the background.
Which is the only dark thing in the whole...
Yeah, everything is very
deal.
bright and colorful and fun. And then there's like dark Bowser's Castle. And it says Mario Kart across the top. So what a lot of people are speculating is that going to be some sort of like ride, like you sit in a car and go through like the dark similar. So I've never been to Disney World, but I've heard. Have you ever been to Disney?
I've been to Disneyland.
Disneyland. Okay, that's what I mean. Like any Disney place. I've never been to anything Disney or Universal Studios or anything before.
Maybe we can go as the Super Gamer Boys. Yeah, you and me, buddy.
We'll
Forget
see.
the kids.
We'll see.
It's just you and me.
But
my gosh.
They compared it to a ride in, is it Toy Story World or something, where you like shoot guns and stuff?
Yes, there is a Toy Story World at Disneyland.
Okay, and I guess there's some ride I think that goes through a dark, like it's like a black lights and multicolored and stuff, and you're shooting like these guns or something. Apparently there's speculation that Mario Kart ride could be similar to that, where you're going through like a race through Bowser's Castle and you might be like shooting things or hit things with power-ups and stuff, almost more like a game. Let me see, there's another picture here. Here's a little close-up picture of it, and you see a little toadstool cafe, there's a little mushroom, there's a little, you can see a very corner over here, it looks like part of the Mushroom Kingdom Castle, like Peach's Castle. And then the third picture is my favorite one. So there's a little warp pipe on the edge of the model here, and it goes into this other section. It's Donkey Kong Country.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy. So they have like the plane where I think it's like, was it Funky Kong or something with his little plane there. There's the little, hut that Donkey Kong lives in. There's a minecart ride, which is, the best part of Donkey Kong Country, the game, is those minecarts. So there's a ride where you can see like the rickety old track where you like a roller coaster ride.
Okay, this was a couple of years ago, correct? That this thing was watermarked is what you were saying, what we're guessing.
Right.
I'm going to tell you this got killed. I'm telling you right now, Donkey Kong Country, it ain't going to happen.
Oh, no. Why? Why would you say that?
Stake your life on it because nobody cares, Garrett.
Everyone.
It's just like nobody cares about Pokemon.
People love Donkey Kong.
Nobody cares about Dungeons and Dragons.
Donkey Kong is the reason like Mario exists. Think about that.
You ever say something stupid like that again, Morley, and I'll backslap you right now.
Mario was in Donkey Kong. I'm pretty sure Donkey Kong predates.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But listen, it doesn't mean they have to have a whole world.
Yeah, Donkey Kong's the best.
I don't know what the best.
He's way better than Mario, I'll tell you that much. But anyways,
Mario could kick Donkey Kong's butt in a fight. I'm just saying.
I don't know about that. We'll settle it in Smash Brothers later. How about that?
Wait, is it on your Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
You're gonna let me hold it this time? Last time?
We'll see. I'll hold it. And
see, that's what you do every time.
But yeah, Super Nintendo World. I'm just super stoked. I don't know. They haven't announced which Universal Studio parks this is coming to. They have. They said it's coming to all of them, but I think they're all coming at different times. So obviously the one in Tokyo, I think the one in Tokyo is for sure coming in 2020 because the Olympics are happening in 2020. They want to have it ready by the Olympics. But then okay, when is it coming to Orlando? When is it coming to California?
I can't remember if it said 24. I think 2024 was when they were talking about it being...
there's nothing in the article here. It doesn't say. It only mentions Tokyo, so maybe you've seen another
There was
article.
another article that I read, and it was kind of staggered. So some of the other countries were going to be getting it,
it says Hollywood, Orlando, and Singapore, the other three getting it. But the main one they're working on for 2020 is Tokyo. So I guess we got to go to Tokyo and check out
Konnichiwa.
Super Nintendo World. But yeah, I'm stoked. If you have a second, go look up the images for it. Just if you just Google Super Nintendo World on on Google. I'm sure it'll be somewhere on there. Let's see. The next news article is a dream I can't talk good. It's hard to talk.
I can't talk good.
It's been a long week.
But thank God you do math well. That's, you know what I mean?
I can do math real good. So the next news article is a dream come true for JJ. This is something we've been hearing rumors about since last year. We've talked about it. I think it was on the first episode of our show, this being a possibility. It was towards those earlier episodes anyways. It's finally a reality. Are you ready for this? Nintendo Switch Lite. It's real, and it comes out September 20th, 2019, baby.
That's it. It's real. September 20th, 2019.
For $199. So that
is the best.
Isn't that great? That's good. That's a good deal. That's a great price. So here are some specs, some features, release date. Well, we just said the release date. You know when it's coming out. But they're talking about September 20th, 2019. It's going to come out in 3 different colors. There's yellow, gray, and turquoise, which looking at it, I'm like, I'm down with all 3 of these colors.
They're great. They're great colors.
I might buy all 3. So we need some more support on Patreon because I'm getting all 3.
So we've had the talks since this was announced. We've had the talks at home. I've had the talks with like my brother. We just talked with him. I talked with you last week about him getting the Switch. Actually, when we were recording the podcast, he had just picked one up, and so he started making the Mario Maker games and stuff. And I said, look, with this Nintendo Switch Lite thing, I think like I can get one for the boy and then one for myself. I'll tell the wife it's for both of us, but really we know it's for me, right? And he's like, man, don't be cheap. Go for the full on. You're going to want,
Yeah. I don't know if you want my 2 cents.
I would love your 2 cents. I was thinking 2 of them, like the cheaper.
No, I think 2 would be great, but for your son, I think the Nintendo Switch Lite is going to be perfect because here's let me read through the specs real quick. So it's going to have a smaller screen at only 5.5 inches. It's going to be lighter. The Joy-Cons do not attach or detach, so it's all solid one unit, so you can't take the controllers off, which is great for a kid because you don't have to worry about them losing a controller. Slightly better battery life by like 30 minutes or an hour. It's like barely better.
Okay, I actually read a different
because it says
thing that said that it was like 7 hours of battery versus like 3.
I get like 6 hours. It depends on what game you play. So it says here for the Switch Lite, it's 3 to 7. But for the regular Switch, I get between like probably it would be 2.5 to 6, depending. Like I played Minecraft when I was playing it this weekend. I was playing on my Switch in handheld mode. I mean, we played from like 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning, and it wasn't plugged in. Like I was fine. So that's how many hours? 8. That's like 5 hours.
It's 6 hours, isn't it? Wait, from 8 to 1. That's 5 hours.
Yeah, so
I did math.
And I still had like 30% battery life left. So I was good to go for a couple more hours. So it just depends on what game you're playing. One thing I do like about the controller is it's going to have an actual D-pad on there, where the Nintendo Switch has 4 separate buttons, up, down, left, right. This has an actual like Nintendo style D-pad, like the little plus sign essentially. It doesn't have infrared. It doesn't have HD rumble. And here's the big kicker. And this is where my suggestion to you is, I'm gonna bring my 2 cents to you here in a second. There is no ability to dock it, so it does not fit in a dock, and it is you are not able to project on a TV in any way. So it doesn't fit in a dock, and even if you have like a third party, cable or something to plug in, it will not output to a TV no matter what you do. You can only play it in handheld mode.
Okay.
So for your son, I think that's great. And I guess honestly, like to be honest, I don't play mine very much in TV mode, except for when you want to play with your family or with your friends, like when you want to play Mario Kart, when you want to play Mario Party, when you want to do anything multiplayer, Super Smash Brothers. And that's where my 2 cents would say, get the Lite for your son. But I still think it's almost like necessary, especially in a family or friend setting, to have a regular Switch that you can still dock and bring up on the TV and play with your friends and stuff. I mean, it just depends on your situation, I guess. But That's my 2 cents.
I will take that under advisement. I can see that. I would think for myself, I wouldn't have a need. I love my PlayStation.
If you just plan on using the Switch just to play the games on your own, sitting on the couch, doing your own thing,
could you interplay with the 2 Switch Lites?
You can play,
we could play together.
You can interplay it together. Yeah, you can. So if you and your son want to play something together, or your wife and your son want to play Fortnite together on the Switches, they can do that. But again, like for me, like there's a lot of times.
And then I could play PlayStation while they're. Oh my gosh, Garrett, we got to make this happen.
But I know for me, like our Switch has turned into like when we have friends or family over, even if they're not gamers, it's like, hey, do you want to play Switch? I'm like, yeah, sure. And like, because Mario Kart's so easy to play, like anyone can play it. Or Super Mario Party is the best party game. Like I think we've played it more in the last month than we ever have, and we played it with like our roommate. We've played it with. some other friends that have come over, like we've invited over for dinner, and just it's such an easy game to pop in. And so with the Lite, it's like that's not possible. So that's just a word of advisement to you and all of our listeners. Like the Lite is an incredible machine for $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
But just keeping in mind, it's like it's just a handheld device. It's just for you. It's just a personal device essentially. But dude, I'm so stoked though. I'm so glad that they announced this, and this just gets me pumped for. I really, really hope that they make a pro model. Which sounds ridiculous. Like, what do you mean a pro model? Like, the Switch is just fine, but I don't know. Having a Switch that is like slightly more powerful, has a better processor, better graphics card, maybe even like outputs to like, because right now the screen on there is only 720p screen, so it's like it's not even full HD. Having something more powerful and a better screen in it, where I can like, oh, this is full 1080p screen in there. Have maybe a bigger screen on there. Because right now, if you look at a Switch, there's a big like black bezel around the outside edge. Like, why not just make the screen, you could add almost like a 1/2 inch sideways and, horizontal and vertical if you took that bezel out of there. So that's my dream for the next thing, is basically them releasing a Lite tells me that they're interested in iterating on the Switch. And hopefully that means they'll make a better model.
Does it up-res when you do put it in TV mode, or does it still stay down at the 720?
No, so yeah, it depends on the game. But for...
Let's say Zelda, the Zelda game you're playing.
I want to say when you put it in the dock, it goes up to 1080p. But I don't know that for that. I don't know that for sure. Because yeah, it's weird. Like some games are completely capable for like you pop it in there, it's like, oh man, it's beautiful. As beautiful as 1080p is, but I'm used to that 4K life now, so But
I wouldn't know, Garrett. I wouldn't know.
But
I got the CRT at home. Sometimes we'll turn the dial and I can look at the characters in different colors. It's kind of cool.
I don't know for Zelda exactly, but I know the games have different resolutions and frame rates when you put it in docked mode. Like it's because the dock actually does some of the processing power for it. So I would love to just have like a handheld version of that, like a pro model where I don't need to put it in the dock. I can have all those beefy graphics and gameplay improvements in my hand. So that'd be pretty cool. I mean, so if you think about the 3DS, they had, back in the day, they had a DS Lite, which is essentially what the Switch Lite is. But for the 3DS, they had a 3DS XL, they called it, which had the bigger screen, more powerful processor, did all this stuff. So essentially, like I think that's what they would even call it. Like they'd call it a Switch XL, and I'd totally be down for that.
I could be wrong, but my understanding is that the 2DS actually came out just like the Nintendo Switch Lite, where it came out after the 3DS.
Yeah.
And it was meant to be more of a budgetary model. Same basic premise.
Yeah, it had all the same pieces and parts in it, but it just didn't have the 3D effect on the screen.
Yeah, my brother picked one up not that long ago for like $70 or something, and he's like, hey, you really can't beat what it provides for that inexpensive.
Totally, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I've been contemplating getting one for the last year because I never owned a 3DS or a 2DS, and there's such a huge, like there's thousands of games out for that system that are incredible games, like, and whether it's Pokemon or like there's been Mario games or there's Luigi's Mansion, like I think Luigi's Mansion 2 was only, like the sequel was only playable on the 3DS, the 2DS. Like you couldn't even play it on like the Wii or anything like that. There's such a huge swath of games for that system, and it's so cheap, like $70-$80 for a 2DS. But that essentially is what the new Switch Lite is like a 2DS version of what we already have.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
I'm excited for you to get it. I'm excited to
It's definitely going to happen.
It. I just want to. I probably won't get one because I definitely don't need another. No, but Trudy would kill me. But
what would you need it for? You already have one, so it would be unnecessary.
I would find a way.
I'd find a reason.
Exactly. Alrighty. The next news story here is. Sorry, am I acting up here? Okay, so this one's kind of cool. Did you ever play the game, or did I show you? I feel like I showed it to you.
You showed me. Okay. What we're talking about is Cuphead.
Cuphead is coming to Netflix as an animated series, a cartoon. This is by Charlie Hall over at Polygon. So I showed it to you, right? It's like that
Yes.
30s style like
Yes.
animation cartoon.
And so that's, dude, honestly, it looks incredible. It's got such a great art style to it. It looks like it's colored after like 30s movies, 40s, like how Steamboat Willie. Think like Steamboat
That's
Willie,
exactly
Mickey Mouse.
like a colored Steamboat Willie.
It's just amazing. I love it. I think it's such a neat art style to go to. And you would think like Cuphead, so the character is a cup. Dude, it works. And
it's brilliant. It's an amazing game. I played it on PC a ton. Like I'm terrible at it, but I love it so much. What's so impressive about the game is the entire thing was hand drawn. That entire game they hand drew, which is why it took years and years and years for them to like make the stinking game. Because they wanted to stay true to that 30 style animation graphic like style. Like that's the only way to do it is just by replicating that essentially.
Cuphead has been in the news a lot lately because I think it wasn't that long ago that it got added to other systems. Like it was on PC, it got added to Switch. But also Xbox.
Oh, it was a Microsoft exclusive. So it was at launch 1 or 2 years. I don't remember when it came out. It was originally only out on Xbox One and then PC, and then it was like 2 years later. So now, no, I think it was like last fall. It was earlier this year, or later last year. It finally came out on Switch. So it's the first time it's which is interesting because it's made by Microsoft. Like it is they own or they backed the MDHR, which is the production studio. But it is such a cool style, and I just think it's perfect for like a cartoon series on Netflix. Like I think it's gonna be so awesome.
I'm interested to see what the premise would be about. Has the premise been covered at all in any of those articles?
So here on the Polygon article here,
they're cups and they're constantly looking to be refilled with non-caffeinated drinks.
So as for the show, details remain somewhat light. The character-driven comedy follows the unique misadventures of the impulsive Cuphead and his cautious but easily swayed brother, Mugman.
That's just brilliant.
Through their many misadventures across their surreal home of the Inkwell Isles, they've always got one another's backs. That's all they said. And then there's just here's the poster for the actual Netflix special. So it says like a Netflix original series, The Cuphead Show, and then in the bottom corner it says starring Mugman.
When does it look like it's going to be coming to Netflix? They give a tentative date?
So at this point, there's no premiere date for it. No, nothing's been set.
Okay, so this is meant to look like that art style that we were talking about, but it actually isn't. You can tell.
Well, it is and it isn't. It's hard to tell from this poster because, I mean, obviously the poster could just be stylized for the sake of a poster. Until we see the actual show, I don't know, we won't know for sure, but I imagine it'll be extremely similar. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm stoked for this because I love the game. The game had really kind of an interesting story and lore with, like, basically Cuphead made a deal with the devil it's been so long since I, watched the intro video on the game. I forget why he gambled. He gambled something away. He lost, and so to make up for it, he has to go and collect the souls of other people who owe the devil money.
I wonder if this is going to be a show that's aimed at children, or if it's going to be more geared towards adults.
I could see them doing something similar to like last week. I was talking about the Angry Beavers, hit 90s Nickelodeon classic.
I don't remember you talking about that.
Where it's a kids show, but is very heavily obviously it could be loved by adults just based off of some of the humor and stuff that they use.
Plenty of double entendres where the kids kind of let it float right over their heads. Because
the game is very much it's not a kid's game. Not that it's there's adult subject matter in it, but just that type of art style is very off-putting. So that's why I think it probably won't be the same exact art style for the TV show, especially if it's supposed to be for kids, because I know that's just not what kids are used to nowadays. It could be very off-putting and very I don't want to watch that. It's kind of weird or scary. It's a very almost scary art style, especially some of the monsters and creatures they had created in the game. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting what it turns into, but I'm really excited. This is such a fun little cartoon game. It's just too perfect. Like it had. I'm surprised it hasn't been made a show sooner.
So I'll tell you what, I'll make a promise to you. If I get, because I've been wanting to play this game because the art does look really cool. If I get the Switch, that's going to be one of the games I'll try to pick up. I think it's inexpensive on the Nintendo Switch right now.
Cuphead?
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think it's very much.
But is it worth a get?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's okay. So here's the deal. Yes, it definitely is. But I'm gonna warn you, like it's a game where you just like beat your head against a brick wall over and over and over. Like it's a hard game. Like it's known for being crazy, almost impossibly hard. Like it's like an achievement. Like when it first came out, people were like, it was like, people had like this pride and like put it all over social media. Like I beat Cuphead. I was one of the few who beat Cuphead. So it's like not a game. Don't get it thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna knock this sucker out. It's gonna be great. Like
that's how I think of all games, yeah. Garrett.
It's not a game that you necessarily expect to finish. But it's still a fun game to play. Like it has so much. Like you can just. I've played it for hours, and it doesn't get any less fun. Like it might get a little frustrating. It's like, okay, I'm done for the night, and I'll jump back in the next day. I'm like, oh, I'm hooked again. Like this is so much fun. So, it's $20 right now on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, beautiful.
So, yeah, that's pretty cheap. Okay, let's see. We have one last news story here. We're just gonna hit this real quick. This is one where I spoke this into existence. So last week during our segment, we were talking about reboots, something we would reboot. I think that's what it was.
Yes. It was if we had an opportunity to reboot one TV show or movie. And then you threw something out there jokingly.
It was, you were going to say yours. I'm like, wait. I think I know what it's going to be. Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. I got it wrong, but what I said, which was I think was an amazing idea, was Gremlins, okay? So much to my surprise here, which apparently this happened July 1st, so at last week's episode it was already a thing. But
Garrett wants people to know that he literally spoke this into existence. Garrett walked in and he looked me in the eye and said, I am a god. And I thought like he was having a seizure. I didn't know what the heck was going on. And I'm like, what? And he said, I said it and it happened. And I'm like, Garrett, that's not at all that's a coincidence. And he goes, no. I mean, his head got really big. It was kind of crazy.
So here's a headline from Variety. Gremlins animated prequel ordered to series at Warner Media Streaming. This is by Joe Otterson. The Gremlins animated series is officially moving forward at the Warner Media streaming service. The series, which Variety exclusively reported back in February, will be titled Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai. Set in 1920s Shanghai, the series will tell the story of how 10-year-old Sam Wing, future shop owner Mr. Wing in the 1984 movie, met the young Mogwai called Gizmo, along with a teenage street thief named Elle. Sam and Gizmo take a perilous journey through the Chinese countryside, encountering and sometimes battling colorful monsters and spirits from Chinese folklore. On their quest to return Gizmo to his family and uncover a legendary treasure, they are pursued by a power-hungry industrialist and his growing army of evil gremlins. The half-hour series has received a 10-episode order at the streamer, 10 episodes of bliss.
Okay.
Say Chun will write the series and serve as a co-executive producer. Del Frank and Justin Falvey of Amblin Television will executive produce alongside Sam Register. Brendan Hall will also co-executive produce. Blah, 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 blah.
So this is on a different streaming service. This is
going to be the Warner Brothers streaming service, the same one that's going to have like all the DC stuff and all the like Warner. Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Pretend like I know what you're talking about.
Okay. There's a Warner Brothers streaming service.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. There's so many of them now. Gee.
They've also, it says here at the bottom of the article that Warner Media has already ordered these for their streaming service as well. Dune, The Sisterhood. I think it's based off of Dune, the book and the movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a TV series on that. Tokyo Vice starring Ansel Elgort. I don't know if I'm supposed to know who that is. And Love Life starring Anna Kendrick with Paul Feig executive producing. I'm just kind of curious who Ansel Elgort is. He looks kind of familiar. Yeah, do you know this dude?
I've never heard the name before. If you pull it up, we'll go ahead and take a look. I will
He
let
was
you
in
know.
The Fault in Our Stars, Divergent, Baby Driver, Insurgent.
I think I might have seen. No, I have not seen any of those movies.
He here's a picture of him, but yeah, so he apparently is going to be in something. What did I say?
Oh, you know what?
Tokyo Vice. So
Yes, he was actually just recently up for the role of Elvis, and he lost out to somebody else.
No more of your garbage news.
No, I'm
fake news.
No,
over
that's
there.
actually not fake news. I swear I'm actually saying something true for a change. I know I'm like the boy who cried wolf. I know.
But yeah, I just thought this was so great. I can't wait to pay for my Warner Media streaming service just to watch Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai.
Wait, let's go back. You do believe me about the Elvis? I swear I'm not making that up.
No, he wasn't. I just looked at IMDb. He's never played Elvis in
No,
anything.
he did not play Elvis. No, he was just up for the role. He and like several other actors that age, but he lost out to somebody else. I just read the article on Yahoo while I was sitting on the pot earlier today.
I don't believe you.
I'm telling you the truth. I swear I feel like the boy who cried wolf. I know that I normally say stuff and you're like, oh, you're just making stuff up for comedy. No, I'm telling you honestly.
Okay, well,
Google that stuff.
I'll believe it when I see it. How about that?
Well, you're not going to see it because he failed. He didn't get it. I have no way to prove my worth right now.
Alrighty, guys. Let's get into new releases for this last week. So there was nothing. Nothing came out, at least on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC. The only thing that came out that I've actually been kind of enjoying, surprisingly, is a mobile game, an iPhone game. I'm not usually a mobile gamer. A lot of times I hate on mobile gamers, saying you're not real gamers, but I've turned to the dark side. I have been hooked on playing Dr. Mario World.
Dude, I love Dr. Mario. Like, it's one of the best games ever.
Right?
And I beat my wife every single time we play.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure it's not the story you've told on previous episode.
Have I actually told the truth before?
You're right. You
Wait,
never
what?
tell the truth.
No, I really don't.
The truth, so.
She would piss me off so bad because she'd be like, look, you can go up a couple of levels if you want. And I'm like, no, you're doing what we do to kids. You're doing what we do to like our small children. Go, okay, I'll play halfway and no, don't do that to me.
Jeez.
So, yeah, she's really good. I think she sold her soul to be able to be good at that game.
Well, if you like Dr. Mario, this game's nothing like it.
Oh no. I got all excited.
It's very similar, but also it has they can't just straight up. I mean, they could just straight up put Dr. Mario on the phone, but they didn't. They mobile phoneified it. Like they made it a mobile game. Like it's obviously like it has microtransactions and it's like has some weird mechanics because they gotta change it over because it's a touchscreen now. It's not just like using buttons and controller. So it is a little different, but that hasn't made me love it any less. Like it's still a lot of fun for what it is.
Okay, so you've been having fun playing it. You actually got it on your game. I just downloaded it while we were
I've been liking it a lot, yeah. And then even with, so at first people were freaking out, microtransactions, what? I don't want to pay, blah, blah, blah. Once you start playing though, so the first hour you play, they give you unlimited hearts. So that's how it's set up is you can have a total of 5 hearts. And basically if you lose 5 times in a row, you have to wait like so much time before your heart meter builds back up and then you can play more levels essentially. So it kind of forces you to either put the phone down and wait or you pay money and then you can refill your heart meter.
I can see how that can be very addicting and very hard.
Because I think it's like it comes out to like $10, what is it? Maybe it wasn't quite that much. Maybe it's more like $5 or $6 and you can get an hour of unlimited hearts. So you pay like $5 and like, okay, I can play for an hour here. So
tell me you've never paid for that, Garrett.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not. No, for the first hour though, it's unlimited. It's free. So that way you can just play for an hour, not have to worry about having anything. You can basically get through all the tutorial missions. And then after you finish the tutorial missions, and you finish the first hour, it goes to the 5 heart minimum. But I have yet to run into an issue where I run out of hearts and I'm like, I need to play more. I need more. I'm going to pay for more. Like, it's the type of game where after I run out of hearts, I'm like, okay, I played enough. Like, I can put it down. Or if you're good enough, when you beat a level, you get another heart. So as long as you keep winning the levels, you can play forever. So as long as you don't suck at Dr. Mario, like...
Which I don't. I don't.
Like, you could essentially just play forever and never run out of hearts. So basically, it's a game that's like either get good or get a bigger wallet.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna practice like crazy, and I'm gonna get really good at this game.
Okay.
So that way I can just smoke the wife.
You can play multiplayer on it too.
Oh, nice.
So if you get on your phone and play a little bit, let me know, and I'll send you a friend request, and then we can try battle mode or something.
You'll actually play with me for a change?
We'll see.
Okay.
If I remember.
Yeah, okay.
You're very easy to forget, you know. Just kidding.
Sounds like my mother.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's the only game of note that came out this last week. So there you go.
What's up, everybody? Today's episode of Super Gamer Boys is brought to you by Podcoin. Do you like listening to the Super Gamer Boys? Of course you do. It's the greatest podcast of all time. Well, the Podcoin app pays you to listen to the podcast, and every podcast. It's the podcast player that pays. Just get the Podcoin app on the iPhone or Android. It's free and super easy to use. You can use the Podcoin you earn to claim gift cards or to donate it to charity. It literally is amazing. It turns your podcast listening into charity. Or if you like, just get some Amazon or Starbucks gift cards. I use it all day while I'm working doing pest control around people's houses, and it makes my life so much easier. I use the Podcoin app to do all of my podcast listening now, and I love it. Go get it on the App Store or Android today. Seriously, just go get the Podcoin app and use invite code GamerBoys. That's GamerBoys, GamerBoys. You'll get 300 Podcoin just for signing up if you use my code. There's 300 Podcoin just for signing up if you use the code GamerBoys. Go give the Podcoin app a try today.
What you been playing, JJ?
Okay, so we talked about it last week, PS Plus. We talked about the fact that we had Detroit Become Human as one of the games.
That was the last minute switcheroo for PlayStation Plus.
Right. So I want to publicly say one more time, thank you for that switcheroo, PlayStation. Thank you, Sony. Because honestly, that game is so great, dude. I have been getting more game time in, and maybe it's because the game is so great, but I have been carving out a little bit of time here and there through the week playing this game, and it is so engrossing. It's so much fun. The story is epic. It's such a great story. It's one of those types of games where you're in control. You have control of being able to move your character around and everything, but you get to these parts in the story and you're given a choice. So you make the choice, and there's all these different scenarios that can play out to the end. And what I love about the game is that after you've completed each scene and you've made different choices at different intersections, when you get to the end, you can hit this button and then you can see the world stats, how everybody else has been playing the same portion.
I remember that from the demo back in last year when it came out.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's a really neat option because you're able to see percentages, how many other players did the exact same thing that you did or didn't. And so the very first scene that I played through, all of them were 95%, 98%. So I'm like, I'm just like everybody else. I'm making the exact same choices everybody else is.
Sheep.
I was totally being sheep, dude. I was just following along, doing what I had to do. And then I noticed that I started making different choices and trying to do different. And pretty soon I'm noticing 29% of the people did what I did, 23% of the people.
Yeah,
and I was
all the sicko
all the
serial
weird,
killers.
Pretty much. All the people who are
Sociopaths.
deep counseling. And yeah, you know what? It's such a fun game. And I know you already downloaded it, but I know you haven't had time to play it. I implore you to get in there and play it because it really is an incredible game. And I'm so glad that I started playing it. I'm overwhelmed with great games right now. This is one of, I know, oh, JJ, your life sucks so bad that you have so many awesome games to play right now. And you're like, I don't know which game to play because they're all so awesome. Seriously, I'm overwhelmed with awesome games right now. I don't know which one to get into next. And I did just get God of War back 2 days ago from my nephew.
Nice.
So I look forward to finishing that game. But it's like I had just started the Detroit Become Human, and I'm loving it so much. The story is so engrossing. It's like watching a TV show, but you're guiding the characters, and you're making choices, and there's some really beautiful storytelling in it. So it's really fun. I implore any of you guys out there, if you don't have PS Plus, go get the dang game. It's that good. Spend the money. It is a great game. And I wish that old me would have bought it at the regular price because it is that good. It's that good of a game where I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
Dang. High praise there. I'm kind of curious how much it is like right now because it's probably pretty cheap because it's been out for a while. You can get it from Best Buy for $20.
Never mind. Just get it on the free PS Plus. You don't want to pay that much. I'm just kidding. That's super cheap.
GameStop. So at Best Buy, it's $20, but you can get it used at GameStop for $25. So it's $5 more to get it used. So I don't know about that.
And a little bit of rip-off GameStop.
But yeah, that's I played the demo and fell in love with the demo, and it's just one of those things where I just didn't commit and buy the full game. I'm like, because even based off the demos, even though I loved it so much, I'm like, it could, in my mind, I felt like it could still go like either way. Like this could continue to be as good as I thought it was, and it'd be worth the $60, or it could just go a completely different direction and be like, oh, that was a waste of $60. Like there are still just certain elements that just like, I don't know. And I'd read a couple of reviews because some people didn't like the game. Some people were like, no, it just wasn't for me. And so it's hard to like commit. But now that it's for free, I'm like, oh, I need to get back in there because not hearing that you enjoyed it. And and I know I love the demo. I can't wait to jump in for the full experience there.
In all honesty, this game at $20 or $25 is a heck of a steal.
Yeah.
Like legitimately. But like right now, you have an opportunity to play it for free. But for those of you guys out there right now, if you don't have PS Plus, honestly, this is the kind of game you do want to go out there and get. It's that good.
Cool. So I played more Mario Maker 2. I'm busting through those story levels. I'm at like level 50 something. So I'm like halfway through because there's like 100 levels or something. So I'm at like 50 something. Wow. I don't remember exactly, but I'm chugging right along.
So
they're getting harder. They're getting real hard.
Are you still in the story mode?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the story mode. There's over 100 levels in the story mode, and I'm at 52 or 1 or something like that. I'm still loving it. It's so much fun because it's different. Every level's from a different game mode. Like some of them are from Super Mario Brothers, some are from Super Mario Brothers 3, some are from Super Mario World, some are from New Super Mario Brothers.
Does your character's animation change?
Yeah, no,
as it goes into each.
It's as if
you're playing on a different system.
Yeah, it looks exactly like that style. So it's as if like I fired up an NES and was playing Super Mario Brothers or whatever, or was that on Super Nintendo?
Super Mario Brothers, the original?
Yeah, I think it was NES, wasn't it?
That was on NES.
Okay, yeah. And then Super Mario Brothers 3, that like it goes to the Super Mario Brothers 3. That was also NES, right? I think that one was still on NES.
It was on NES, right?
Because then Super Mario World was the one that was on
the first one on Super Nintendo. Yes. That's right. You were born in '93, so like all of this 30. That's why you're like.
I played all these.
Why do you not know this stuff, Garrett?
Yeah, like we had all those consoles and played them, but I wasn't around when they came out, so like dates on those are fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember the shapes of the cartridges. That's what I was doing in my head. I'm like, okay, rectangle, like square, Yeah, so that's the coolest thing. It's like every level I'm playing a different Mario game. Like all of a sudden it boots up. It's like like 5 lives, and then the world loads, and it's like, oh, I'm playing Mario Brothers 1. Now I'm playing Mario Brothers 3. Now I'm playing New Super Mario Brothers Wii U.
So you never actually played Mario Brothers, correct? You played Super Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers was a game on
I have played
Atari.
Mario Brothers.
You played that where it's just you and it's just Mario and Luigi, and you're like in the pipe, and you're jumping up and down.
Yes, I have played that.
Okay.
That was on because that was on the NES as well.
Yes.
I did play that. We did not own that one, but I had played it other places. Not very fun. Not compared to Super Mario Brothers.
When it first came out, it was pretty good.
But yeah, no, I've played that one. But yeah, so that style's not in there. Only the Super Mario styles are in there. But yeah, I still super highly recommend that. I played Apex Legends Season 2 with Sterling. We finally got onto that. I think we only played 1 or 2 nights. I think it was only one night. I played one night and I was like, well, and now I'm busy again. But it was a lot of fun. Season 2 is a lot of fun. They added a new character. They've added new stuff to the map. They have added a new weapon. And what's some other things? I love the way experience points work now. So it used to be really hard to level up through the battle pass. They've added like daily challenges, weekly challenges, all-time like season challenges that just make it so easy to level up, so much fun to level up. Like, okay, I need to kill 5 people with headshots with a Mozambique, like with a specific gun or whatever. It's just like, or with a specific character. And it just makes it so much more fun because there's actually now an objective you're trying to do too. Like not only are you trying to survive out of 100 people or however many, I think it's actually only like 60 something people. But you're also, trying to do these little objectives, these little side things. So it's a lot of fun. I still highly recommend it. And Sterling, you need to hit me up whenever you guys are playing because I still want to play, I promise.
Sterling, I want to play too.
But
you could hit me up.
Well, it's only 3-man squads, and Josh plays with us, another friend.
I noticed Sterling had me blocked on PlayStation for whatever reason.
Yeah, well,
Hit me up, Sterling. We're cool, bro.
And then the last.
Oh, you don't have to share this. Look. People don't have respect for you anyway, Garrett. Just stop. Right there. That's what you played.
So here's the deal. I was talking to you earlier. I was telling you earlier how when Minecraft first came out, I was like, that game is so stupid. It's for babies. Like, it's a kid's game. This is dumb. Like, why would anyone play that garbage? Like, seriously, Minecraft? Like, you're a dork.
8-bit? Why would you do that?
And then, yeah, that's what I've thought all these years. Like, I think they just had their 10-year anniversary. So it's been 10 years of just, like, trash-talking Minecraft players. At the family reunion, my brother-in-law was like, hey, have you ever played Minecraft before? I'm like, no, never played it. I'm not a baby. And he's like, well, I've been playing it, and he's been playing it because he has a 4-year-old son who enjoys watching him play, and then he's also kind of like sort of teaching him how to play through, on the PC version. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. He's like, yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. Like, you should try it. And he kind of like talked about some different things he's done in the game and some like things they've built or things they've come across and experiences. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So that's what we did this weekend.
I'm in. I'm turning in my man card and I'm just going for it.
Exactly.
I'm all out.
Yeah. So I fired up the Switch version. He was on his PC.
Pretty much the same, right?
It's exactly the same.
Okay.
All the versions are pretty much exactly the same. The only thing that's different is maybe some extra like DLC content. Like on the Switch version, there's actually like Mario themes. So I can play as like a block version of Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Bowser, whatever. And like you can build like, they give you all the materials to be able to build like Peach's castle or toadstools and stuff like that. So you can build a Mario world, but in Minecraft art style, essentially.
Yeah, my son loves the game. We have it on the PS4, and he also has a version for the 360.
Okay.
And it's virtually identical.
Yeah.
You can't really tell a difference.
Yeah, and so yeah, my brother-in-law was playing on his PC, Windows 10 version, and then I was on my Switch, and they just recently added the Play Anywhere update they did last year, so we were able to play together. I signed into my Xbox account on my Switch. He signed into his Microsoft Xbox account on the PC, and we played together. We played from it's 8 or 9 o'clock, and we played till 1 in the morning. It was insane. Like we played for so long, but it was like such a blast because it was my first experience. He's like guiding me, like a Sherpa through like this strange world. I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. Like, what is this? Like, I'm mining for what? Like, how do I build this? That was my question every time. I was like, how do I build this? How do I build this? I'd ask the same, like, how do I build a pickaxe? I asked that like 100 times. Like, I could not remember how to, like, what ingredients and stuff I had to do. I died probably like 100 times. Like,
would you get attacked by
like so stupidly? No, I was never to being attacked. I'd be like, one of the first things he said is like, never mind, like never dig straight down. And at one point I was like digging, and I decided like I'm just gonna go straight down a little bit here. I came across some, I guess, sandstone or something, or it was instead of dirt, it was like sand. Basically, I got buried alive. Like I was standing there, I was like digging, and all of a sudden everything just went black, and there's this sound like boom, 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 boom of dirt falling on top of me. And it was like, you died. I'm like, what the heck just happened? He's like, you dug too far deep or too straight down or something. I don't know. And I died.
Wow.
Another time I fell in lava. I was digging straight down like you're not supposed to do. And the next thing you know, boop, fell right into a lava pit. I'm like, well, that sucks. So I died a lot.
So see what happens when you don't take somebody else's advice.
Yeah, it does not work out so great. But we just had so much fun because it was such a new experience for me. And like he knew what he was doing. And I mean, he's only been playing a couple of weeks, but even he knew way more than I would know in 2 weeks playing the game.
So have you had a desire to play it afterwards?
Oh, yeah.
Again?
Like
Okay.
yesterday and pretty much all day yesterday and today, I'm like, I want to get back on there. But it's like, I don't know how fun it'll be alone. I'm sure it will be fun.
Well, couldn't you always hook up with them and play?
Yeah, we can play through the internet. And that's something I wanted to throw out there too, is like if any of you guys out there play Minecraft on Xbox, PC, Switch, I don't know if it works with the PlayStation version.
If there's cross-platform.
Right, but I know there's definitely cross-platform play between those, like PC, Xbox, and Switch. If any of you guys want to play, like hit me up on any of our social media or something like that, or email me, and I'd be down to play. I made a Super Gamer Boys world. That's what I named it, and I was my intention is that if any of our fans want to come play with us, this can be our little playground. So, but I was just pleasantly surprised because this game I've put down for so long. I'm like, no, like it's one of those games where there's no point, but what makes it fun is who you play it with. Like we had a blast because like it was just us goofing around doing stupid stuff and like building things, or he was being serious. He was actually like trying to like do things and progress the story. And I'm like running around like killing horses and cows and chickens and stuff, or like lighting stuff on fire. Or at one point he walked away from his computer and I built I basically like encapsulated him in like a tomb. Like I just buried him in dirt. The stupid stuff. And then he came back and he's like, wait, why is everything dark? What's going on? And it took him like forever to dig out of the pit. I guess it's like stupid stuff, just goofing around.
That sounds like fun.
That's the fun of it. Is like, there's no point to this, but just to like goof around. And,
I never understood it because my son loves to play it, but I'm looking at it and I'm going, it's a blocky character, it's 8-bit, and it's like you have this amazing ability to play things that look like a movie. And you want to play this stuff. So I never understood it. I didn't understand the point to it. But I know that like for my son, 8, when I come home and he's playing Minecraft, he's like all excited. Dad, look what I made. I made a house. Yeah. And there's a bedroom here. And look, it looks just like our house. And it's painted just like our house. And here's your room, Dad. And here's sister's room. And here's the staircase. Oh, and I made it to where we have a pool in the backyard. We need to get a pool, Dad. And but it's pretty cool. And then he's like, oh, I've got some wolves, but they keep reproducing. So now I've got like 8 wolves living in the house and I can't let them out. See, dude, it's pretty fun. It's like,
awesome.
I'm excited that he's passionate about it. I'm glad you got to play and that you have a different opinion than you did. See what happens when you get outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good to get outside of the comfort zone, but
I'm always trying to get you outside of your comfort zone.
So if any of you guys want to play though, let me know. We can have up to like 7 or 8 players in one world. So I'm down to just like build crap and blow people up, all the fun stuff. Alrighty, guys. Let's get into the last segment of the show here, also known as the question of the show. We try to come to you each and every week with a question of the show as best as we can, depending on if they're available and how long we're going.
And if you guys want to be able to have a question that you want to have read on the show, whether it's a hypothetical, or you're just curious about something, or you think that like we might be able to provide some type of entertainment, or like a crazy wacky thing from Garrett because he's always saying crazy wacky stuff, please send in your stuff to.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No.
I was trying
go to any of our social media. So we'll talk about the end of the show, but at Super Gamer Boys, Twitter and Instagram, you can direct message us there. Facebook.com/Super Gamer Boys, you can direct message us there. You go to supergamerboys.com and click the contact us button, and it sends an email straight to our business email. I get them there.
We also have a fax machine. You can also fax it over to us, but please stop sending us faxes of your butt cheeks, Brent Fox.
But yeah, so if you have any questions about video games, movies, TV shows, or anything else in the world, literally, like obviously our show is those three things, but if you have questions about anything about like favorite foods or places of vacation, or if you need advice on a relationship, or you need advice on like whether you should buy a car or a house or something.
We are so good at giving advice.
Let's like question the show doesn't have to just be like, hey, what do you think? Like, hey, what do you think I should do? Like we're here for you. We're one big happy family, so we're here to bring you all the advice you want. So
we would love to help.
But this week's question comes from Brent Fox actually. Here's the deal. You win the $48 million lottery. What would you do with your newfound wealth? So you just won $48 million on the lotto, California lotto.
Why?
What do you do?
Why, oh why, did I get so excited right now with the thought of that? I don't know why. I know you think I'm all about the money, and I hate to tell you it's true. But no, love of money is the root of all evil, just so you know. Gosh, man, that's a really great question. Thank you, Brent, for sending that in.
I know what you would buy. You would buy 241,206 Nintendo Switch lights.
Yes, I would. I wouldn't even have to go with the lights, man. When you have that kind of cash,
okay, you go big.
I gotta go big or go home. You know? Yeah, I definitely would buy a Switch for everybody in my house, just in my house.
Okay.
No, you know what? That's a great question, and it's an interesting question because so many people who win the lottery blow through it so quickly. They just make stupid decisions, and within a couple of years, they're broke. Right away, you get taxed for like half of everything.
Yeah, so let's see, 48 million. What is it?
Around 24 million or something. I mean, it's going to be something
generally
like
about
that.
half. Is that how much?
I think that's my understanding is like 40 to.
Yeah, so let's just say it's more actually. Probably closer to like the 25 million or something like that.
Yeah, so
nice even number there.
Right, you might get something like 25 million out of it or whatever, which that ain't no small piece of change. Now you have the option of taking it over the course of 20 years or taking it all at once.
Give it to me.
Here's why all at once is so much smarter. So it's so much smarter because you have a better opportunity to be able to build interest on that money and let it parlay into more money by investing it in smart things, putting it into mutual funds and stuff like that. You have a more of a chance of building that nest egg. Okay, I go to Vegas and go to booby shows, and I've been wearing booby tassels myself all the time.
Oh my gosh.
And I go to Mexico and I drink tequila with somebody named Sancho, and we'd go see some donkeys and probably ride said donkeys.
Off into the sunset.
More than likely. I don't think the sun sets in Mexico. I'm not pretty sure it does not.
That still sounds lame to me. You want to know what I do at 25 million?
No, because it would probably be boring. And I invest in mutual fund. Oh, wait, that's what I said.
That's what you said. No, I would definitely. So obviously you do like the boring things. Like I'd buy a house, I'd buy a car, like and nothing extravagant. I'm thinking like I'm gonna need like
Teslas.
Just one Tesla.
Just one.
But no, like because it's just like right now like we're renting a place. It'd be nice to like at least have a house that we don't have to like it'd be just paid off, be done. Have a car, be paid off, done. A good car that's not gonna break down like ours might because it has almost 200,000 miles on it. But after that, I think I would first. I'd go all out and like outfit our studio with like a legit setup and get like all the gaming consoles and like all the games and stuff like that. Like I want to make like a legit studio where we can do like video stuff and we can do like play any game we want and all that stuff. Like,
I
that'd be
love
super awesome. Make it like look cool, like LED lights and everything. I've been thinking about this a lot. So I get all the memorabilia on the wall, like posters and game cartridges and discs and CDs and everything. So it just like looks dope. And that, I can't imagine that's going to be very much. Maybe just like, to be honest, that's probably only like maybe $1 million or $2 million there, if that. Probably even less than that, to be honest.
That's like a lot of money to put into a studio, man.
I mean, I'm getting some sweet LED lights.
Like the good ones, yeah.
But then after that, what I've always wanted to do is just like, and this may sound super irresponsible, but I don't know. I just want to like take a year and just travel around the world. And I know everyone wants to do that, but I don't know. I grew up traveling so much. Like I moved a lot in upstate New York where I lived. And then as a high schooler, my parents, I lived overseas. They moved overseas. Like I lived in a third world country. They're missionaries overseas. So it's like travel is in my blood. Like every couple of years we're in a new house. Even living here in Modesto, it's like we've been here 5 years now. 4 years. We've been here 4 years. I think. And anyways, it was like only a couple, maybe only like a year and a half we were here, and Trudy and I both were just like, okay, is it time to move yet? Like, is it time to go somewhere else? Like, neither one of us are used to like staying in one place for that long because we both grew up that way where we moved just all the time. So to get that, like, kind of scratch that itch, it's like, I would love to just take a year and like I don't know, like basically live somewhere for a couple months and then the next, go somewhere else for a couple months. So like essentially in a year I can live in like 6 different countries or something. Like I think that'd be super awesome.
That'd be awesome.
And I feel like that would still leave a few $1 million that I could still invest, like, stick in an account and still rack that up and pay for my kids' education. But yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, that's actually one of the thoughts that I had was a couple things that I legitimately would do was try to save money by putting money in and investing it and stuff.
Okay. We get it. You're an adult.
I know.
Lame.
But I got 3 kids, and it would be nice to say I'm going to put some money into accounts for each of them that they can get on their 25th birthday or whatever to be able to start their life, or like, and then like a college thing, like set them up with college so I can, But I also thought about buying property, and then having smaller houses, not like we go to properties where there's like these big mansions and stuff, right? I was thinking it would be nice to make a property where there's like a basketball court and like a theater and stuff like that. And then I have siblings and like my in-laws and stuff like that, and like have smaller homes. So like everybody has like these homes on this large property where we could all get together and do family stuff together.
Just talking about like a cult compound.
Pretty much a compound.
Is this like a commune, like compound?
Well, there would be
cult type thing.
It would be a commune, yes.
Like Friday nights is Naked Fridays. We go and dance out in the fields.
Everybody needs to come and pay their fealties to me, right? Why not? It sounds like fun.
We're going to sacrifice our firstborn children.
Well, not my firstborn, but more than likely others. I like mine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but I just had this great thought. It'd be great to like kind of, build like a cool little community of my family and like keep them in an area where they're safe and they've got, homes that they're not having to pay for, and they can all go and have their jobs and everything else. So they're not going to be worried about paying for the lights. They're not going to be worried about money anymore, because Big Daddy is taking care of everything, you know what I mean? And then they'll all want to kiss my ring.
Because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it all comes down to me, man. I'm going to have to buy a ring, too, so they can kiss it.
Okay. I mean, you can get those pretty cheap on Amazon. My wedding ring was only like $15 on Amazon or something.
Nice. Mine is like $6 for like 4 or 5 of them. They're all made out of rubber. It looks like an O-ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was funny, like when we were getting wedding rings and stuff, I got Trudy this, to be honest, it's not that expensive. But for me at the time, I was like, this is insane. Like so crazy. Because I was a poor college student. So I was just like a few $100, but it was just like, I can't afford this. Like it's more than $100. What? I can't afford this thing. I borrowed money from my parents to buy Trudy's wedding ring, like the engagement ring and wedding ring set.
Did you ever pay them back?
I did pay them back. But
I made $5 and $10 payments.
But then for mine, we're like, well, what are you gonna do for you? And we looked around at some of those fancy spots. I'm like, that's so much stinking money for like, I don't care about the ring. I looked when Trudy wasn't there. I looked on Amazon and found one for like $10-15, like a tungsten ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, hey, what do you think of this? She's like, oh, if you like it, just do whatever you want. I'm like, cool, that sounds good. Save hundreds of dollars. It looks awesome, and it's made of tungsten. So basically, if my finger swells, I'll just have to cut my finger off. So it's great.
Yeah, I actually, Janet and I, when we first got married, we ran to Reno and got married at the Chapel of the Bells, and we ran and got married, and we had to go to a pawn shop to go buy our first wedding rings. I had already gotten her an engagement ring, but she had this gold engagement ring, and then we ran to go try to find inexpensive wedding bands, and what we found was silver. so my poor wife had to endure a nice gold band with a moderately small diamond, and then a silver wedding band. And I felt so bad when she'd show it to people. I'm like, I look like such white trash. It's, which I mean, I am, but I remember that it was too large for my finger, and I would talk with my hands a lot for some reason, and like it would just fly. It would just fly.
There she goes.
I'd be like, right over there, and like the thing would just fly, and I'd have to go running after it. I did it once, and I lost the ring.
Oh man.
So yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, no, wedding rings. What a crazy thing. Trudy's, the diamonds on hers are so tiny, I don't even know if there's actually diamonds on there. They could have just totally lied to me. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think they said there was a diamond there. I don't know.
They're like, my friend, this is total diamond. Go ahead, go away. Good for you.
But,
it's 24 carat.
Yeah, right.
That was indiscernible what accent that was. That, just so you know, that could have been any culture. I wasn't being racist.
We can make fun of Russians. It's fine. Thank you guys so much for listening, even you Russians out there.
We do have actually a good amount of listeners in Russia.
I mean, I'm sure we have a few. We have a couple at least.
Right?
Maybe. I don't know. Did the Iron Curtain ever really come up? If you haven't already, go check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/supergamerboys. That is, so if in case you don't know how to spell, or I talk funny because I'm from New York, that was a comment someone made over the weekend. So one of Trudy's cousins married an upstate New Yorker as well, and someone in...
Is he a wise guy?
No, he's not from New York City, upstate New York.
Hey, what does that mean? That's where they bury all of the bodies.
Okay, whatever.
Does he talk like that?
No, he doesn't.
God,
he talks like me, but someone else in the family was just like, yeah, he kind of had a little bit of a New York accent or something like that. I'm just like, well, not a New York. He just had a little bit of an accent. Like it wasn't a New York accent, but it was.
When he sees you, does he pinch your cheeks? Hey, this guy! This guy! Does he do that?
No, he does not do that.
Oh God, please tell me that he does.
I'm sorry, he does not do that.
Just lie to me, Garrett.
There's all these people who just, I need to get the word out there that not all New Yorkers are Italian gangsters.
I think that you guys need to play that up a little bit. Like, you come here and you need to play that up.
Okay.
It's like I play up fat redneck when I go anywhere.
But I thought it was so funny, like that they thought he had like, oh yeah, I kind of had like a little bit of an accent or something. I'm like, do I have an accent? Like, do I talk funny? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a thing to me because I grew up there. But apparently, New Yorkers, even upstate New Yorkers, have an accent. So. But it's, anyways, patreon.com/supergamerboys. That's patreon.com/supergamerboys. You know how to spell that.
Yes. You
listen to our podcast, you know how to spell it. If you haven't already, please go rate and review us. Please, please, please. That will help us grow on iTunes. And that's the only place that really matters. I know a lot of you people listen to us in other places like Podcoin, who sponsors us. You listen to us on Overcast, you listen to us on your Google Play Store if you have an Android, all these random places. But downloading and listening and rating and reviewing is what kind of helps us grow. So if you have an Apple device and you have a chance to go to iTunes or your podcast app, Whether you listen to us there or not, at least download it there, rate us there, review us there. That helps us, continue to grow, because then we show up on the charts over there. And, everyone knows Apple's where it's at. That's where all the cash money is.
Yeah. That's what they say.
I mean, they don't share it with us, but they have a lot of cash money. So
they do.
You can find us over supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I am on Twitter at gmorlang.
I am on Twitter at jjpurdom.
And I just want to say thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at groundfloorgraphics and facebook.com/groundfloorgraphics.
And Star, we're looking forward to getting those stickers. We got a chance to check them out last week.
Yeah, I showed JJ the picture of it afterwards. And
so amazing. So cool. It looks so cool. If you've ever seen your face as a cartoon on a cartridge like I have, it's pretty awesome. I can't wait to be sticking your face all over everything.
I don't know. The Star sent me an email. I don't know why, but we just got an order for like 500 JJ face stickers. What is that? Like, it's going to California. Do you know who this is for?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I wanted to give the gift of me to everybody, So I have family and friends. And
all the customers you go to every day, just giving them your face.
Here's my face.
My face is a video game character.
They call this the moneymaker, my people.
Alrighty. Well, I'm excited for shirts and memorabilia and merch or whatever you want to call it. It's coming out of her brain skull ideas.
Whatever's in your brain, we want it. Skull. We want your brain skull. You know what I'm excited about, Garrett? Next week. Tune in next week because it's going to get weird.
It's going to get real weird. We'll see how it goes. But thank you guys so much for listening again. And we will catch you all on a flippity flop.